Yeah, Enigma in the house. My man J-Span, Titan Studios. It's called From the Heart. Keeping it real is what all this song's about. Never selling your soul. Always staying true to yourself. Alright, yeah. Check it out. Money, cars, but will never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the heart. Yeah, money, cars, but will never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the start. Man, money, cars, but will never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the heart. Yeah, money, cars, but will never get you far unless you gonna spit it.
And welcome back to your favorite weekly sports show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is ITC Sportsball, and I am your man Jerome Spanner. Of course, I'm the prettiest face on ITC, but we have got the regular Sportsball crew in here. We've got that hot take spitter, the man who rips like Darline spits. He is the modern day Ali on the microphone. When he steps into your home, all your ladies is gone. He is that man.
Hey, you better not have marble floors in that thing either, because we're going to be sliding. It's your boy Mase. I'm ready to go.
Oh, you're going to be doing the Tom Cruise, mate?
Hey, boy, slide in there real smooth.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And, of course, we have ITC's resident troll. He is that guy that sees fire and he's like, I got this gasoline and gunpowder. What's happening? When you let him into your mind, it's a mistake for all of our kind. He is that man, Daryl.
We're taking liver shots like Ryan, and we're taking knockouts like freaking Curtis.
Yikes. And of course, yes. He already referenced it, but we might as well get right into it. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us, share all this good stuff while you are here. But yes, we got to get into the big fight that happened last night, and that is Mr. Tank Davis being victorious over Ryan Garcia in the Battle of the Undefeated Fighters. Daryl, all of us watched the fight last night. What were your overall thoughts on what happened?
Wasn't a dominating win. It was like a heart attack, just waiting for someone to get like blown out for a knockout. My honest opinion, it was very. It's like, I like how Ryan Garcia said it. He said, literally, he gave too much respect. There was too much respect he was giving. Like he came in clean, going in aggressive, and then he didn't like stick with the game plan. He got a little cocky. But when you're fighting someone that's a little bit smaller, to have that little Tyson aspect to it, you have to be careful because those punches come out of nowhere. And like Israel did the freaking Piera, it was like the same thing that Tank did to Ryan. That's how, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia basically put his hands in his pocket for 3 rounds and gave Tank every opportunity he needed. You can't, you definitely can't go into that fight trying to respecting your opponent too much. There's always, these guys talk a lot of trash, but at the end of the day, man, they know how hard it takes to, all the hard work it takes to get to where they are. It's not like they just completely discredit one another and things of that nature, but he showed he had too much respect for Tank. He threw the most punches in that fight, but a lot of those punches were meaningless jabs. So if they do have a number 2, which I think they will, I would definitely expect him to let his hands go a little bit more. Try to show Tank that let's say, hey, bro, this isn't a respectful contest. One of us is leaving in here with help from somebody else. You feel me?
So I would say my biggest thing is that Garcia had the right strategy. He did. He was keeping Davis on the outside. He was fighting smart, and then when he stepped inside, he was throwing big blows at him. The problem was twofold. One, he wasn't as accurate as he needed to be, right? What was happening after the first round, you saw Tank complaining a lot, talking about, oh, he's hitting me in the back of the head and stuff, Tank decided to make an adjustment, and he said, well, all right, well, I'm just going to weave these then. I can't stop you from hitting me in the back of the head, with the blocking, so I'm just going to weave it. So he started weaving him. Garcia never adjusted. Throughout the rest of that fight, you kept seeing Tank weave the exact same power punch on him over and over and over. But what he was doing, though, he was setting him up. He was weaving and getting out, right? Until he finally set him up, which was the second part of the problem for Garcia. He should have continually pressed the pace to tire Tank out quicker. Because Tank, look, man, if you just sit back and let that dude dance around the ring like he was doing, you're never going to tire him out. We know he can throw punches all day long. That's what he does. So he made the mistake, and he never adjusted that punch. So when he never adjusted that punch, Tank said, okay, I got you. I know where you're going. I know where your body's going to be at. And it goes back to, actually, if you watched when Tank was in his locker room warming up before the fight, they were practicing that same punch that he kept throwing. They kept going back to it over and over and over. You can see, oh, he plans on banging this man to the body. He like, you can see he's trying to hit him with a hard shot and really hurt him with that. And what did he do? Caught him with the perfect liver shot. And hey, credit to Mr. Garcia. You was still trying to fight, but boy, eventually that body just gave out. You was like, oh.
Yeah, so like Tank had the right strategy there, because I think he knew going into that fight he wasn't the more conditioned fighter. So how do you slow somebody down that can volume strike longer than you can? Just chop him down, chop the tree down. And that's basically what happened. Yeah, man, it was a perfect shot. Perfect shot to the liver.
It was most definitely one of the, like, when you talk about that perfect body punch, right? When you talk about that, oh man, that one that's gonna put you out, that's it right there. You weave a guy, you see the opening, you see his body stretched out, and you just boom right into the liver. And like I said, hey, credit to Ryan Garcia for even being able to stand up and try and keep going after he got hit. But I think we all saw it when he winced from that initial contact. It was like, ooh, bro, are you gonna stay on your feet? Are you gonna? And then when he dropped, I'll be honest with you, I thought he was gonna be able to get back up by the 10, but then when it got to 7 and he wasn't up yet, I was like, ooh, he's done. So he's done. Hey, and then on top of that, I think why Garcia wasn't effective as he should be and why his aggression got turned down, that uppercut took him off his feet. I think it was an eye opener.
Yeah, that was definitely an eye opener. Like I said, he went in with too much respect for Tank. Man,
yeah, he should have pressed it. He should have pressed the issue. You're the bigger man. You got to press the issue and just keep him at the end of your punches, though. That's what you got to do.
Because the jab was connecting for Garcia all night, but his power punches weren't getting home in the times that they needed to. Like at the end of those combos, those power punches were glancing blows. They weren't full. Let me get in. Because there was one where he it was a solid shot, but his feet weren't set. He had kind of like I think he had tripped because Tank was leading in with that foot and staying really close to him just to keep him off his balance. So there was a time where he slipped a shot and he slipped through a punch, but that punch would have been probably devastating. That probably would have put Tank on his butt if he was set when he threw that right overhand. I think it was in the 5th or 6th round.
And also my other issue with Garcia's how he performed was bro, why aren't you attacking this little dude's body? You could set him up. Left hand, up into the body. You can set him up because you know he's gonna want to weave the jab. He was showing you all night. I'm not gonna block it. I'm gonna try and weave it. And that's why part of the reason why you were connecting with it. So he's showing it to you. You know he's gonna lean, set him up, fake it to the head, go to the body. But he really didn't do that. And I think a big part of the reason why that happened is simply when Tank hit him with that uppercut early, it changed the whole dynamic of the fight. Because if you notice before that, Garcia was super aggressive. He was coming full speed ahead. Tank was out there having to grab because he was like, ooh, my legs is getting a little shaky. grabbing, right? And then all of a sudden, when he got caught with that uppercut, his whole mentality changed. He was no longer the aggressor. Now he was, like you said, I'm gonna just throw that jab out there. That's it. I'm gonna just throw it out there. I'm not gonna follow up. Like I said, jab, body punch. I'm not gonna follow up with it. I'm just gonna throw the jab out there because I think that power really, really weighed heavily in his mind, and he didn't want to get put on his ass again.
Well, the body punch was set up the whole time too, also because every single one of them grabs that Tank was doing, he was hitting the body, getting some extra shots in. So the whole time he was getting those body shots in, and he was taking a couple heavy body shots every single time. It wasn't noticing, like people weren't noticing. They were only seeing the grab. They're just like, oh, I'm just seeing him grab. But he was setting up punches every single time to that body. That's why that liver shot was so effective how it was.
And he was chicken winging him over here and pounding that body over here. Hey, Tank, look, talking about Tank, his performance was excellent last night.
Oh, yeah.
He fought the strategy perfectly because he didn't allow himself to ever get frustrated. Even after the first round where he felt like, you know, Garcia hit him in the back of the head, was doing some kind of weird, dirty stuff when they was in the clinch. Even after all of that, he didn't lose his mind. He stayed on track. He kept to the plan, which was, I'm going to hard counter this man the entire fight. I'm not gonna try and just outbox him. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep hitting him so hard till he hits the mat. And it worked out for him. But again, it goes back to what me and Mase were talking about. You have to be better than that when you're Garcia. I mean, let's talk about it, right? So total punches thrown and landed in the first round, right? Well, we'll go round by round. So in the first round, he landed 13%. Second round, 23%. Third round, 19. Fourth, 29. Fifth, 14. Sixth, 31. And seventh, he landed 40, right? But he wasn't really throwing anything with any malice. He wasn't really throwing anything to try and knock that man out after the first two rounds. Like I said, that uppercut and knocking him off his feet, I think, changed the entire fight. Daryl, did you see two different fighters too, or is that just me? Am I seeing something and maybe I'm wrong? Did you see where it seemed like Garcia was two different fighters after he got knocked down?
He wasn't like two different fighters. It was more like the first before he got hit, before he had the first knockdown, he was like, okay, I could push the pace, I can cut the ring off. Let me be aggressive. As soon as he got to the knockdown, it was more like, okay, now I have to freaking literally guard my face, but at the same time, I'm respecting him because I felt that power. But it wasn't like he was two different fighters. It was more like he was being too much cautious and allowing him to actually he was thinking too much. That was the problem. He was just thinking. It's like, if you're trying to get this strategy, like he was too busy focused on the grabs. Like if you noticed after the knockdown, he was so focused on the grabs. You started seeing how, like, if Tank was trying to grab him, he was in a different position. Like he was like shelling to a certain extent, but it was more Garcia like, oh, I don't want to get hit again, but I'm still giving him respect, but I'm not going to put no more output out like I was before. Like I'm not going to keep, but if I get him close, I'm going to wing it. That was the problem. Like when he had these open hooks, like you would say, like when you see the replay, like, oh, you got a good hit in, but then you overswung and he just like grazing his hair every single time. So it was more like, hey, I get close and I'm not accurate. And then after that, if he grabs me, I know what to do. I'm going to just turn a certain way. Like he had like too many strategies in his head while he was trying to fight, while giving respect. And that was the problem. It wasn't like two different fighters. I would say he was like overthinking.
To sum it up for me, I think it just came down to a front runner realizing that he's not in first place when he got hit. Because I mean, if you look at Ryan Garcia's fights, I mean, how often is he in trouble?
Very true.
And you know, he gets put down. He realizes that my boy got some power over there. And what did Tyson say? Everybody got a strategy until they get hit. I like I said, I expect a second fight, and I don't know when it'll happen. You know, these fighters they drag it out to get the most money they can. I don't blame them, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I say I felt like he was just two different fighters. Because before he got rocked, he was super aggressive. After he got rocked, he was like, "Oh, I don't want to feel that again." So, look, people, I ain't insulting the man. I ain't calling him soft, nothing like that. Because you got to be a different mentality to be a boxer, a professional fighter, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. You can tell when a fighter has changed up because he realized the other dude swinging at me hits a little bit harder than I do. You can tell. So hopefully we will end up getting to see a second fight, right? Because that second fight, I think it'll be more exciting than this one was, because Garcia has to come with a different strategy. He has to figure out a way to stay aggressive in the ways that he was early before the knockdown, because that's the only way he's going to win that fight. He cannot have Tank just sitting back waiting and loading up that shot, that counter shot to hit him with it. You know, like that's what Tank does. That's why he is called Tank Davis, because this man hits you like a tank. Okay.
I think for a second fight, I think he has to utilize the uppercut more, because like you said, he didn't, the strategy was not to block the jab. And usually if a guy's moving that head a little bit, the body's still in place. You know what I'm saying?
You can move the head, but the body's still there.
If you know, like I said, if you know a guy's weaving your jab, like the jab has to be the dummy punch per se. Like you can't use that jab. You can't point your way to victory versus a dude who hits harder than you.
No,
because eventually they're gonna eat a few of those jabs to get in to really hit you with something. And hey, like I said, that's what Tank did. He came in through those jabs and gave him something he wasn't ready for.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope we get to see a second fight, just because I'd like to see where it could go if Garcia is able to continue forward and actually stay aggressive, right? Because I think that fight was shaping up early to be a really exciting, like blow for blow, like, man, we seeing some blows getting thrown fight until that knockdown. After that, you visibly could see that, hey, like you, but to your point, Garcia hasn't really been in trouble like that in his career. That usually he's the dude putting the other guy in that type of situation, right? So I think this is a very big learning moment for him. What do you become? We know, Mase, it's basically impossible to be an undefeated fighter, right? Like what Floyd Mayweather did and stuff, that's crazy. If you look at the history of every other fighter, everybody's got
somebody gonna get you.
L. Yeah, like everybody got one. For those who don't realize it, right? We lionize Muhammad Ali. Rightly, we should, right? Because he was one of the greatest of all time. But that man got losses. Frazier knocked him out. So even at that level, right? Even at the guy that we consider the greatest of all time, he's got losses. So what do you do now? Do you come back stronger from this, Garcia? We will see. I hope he does, because I'd love to see a battle between these two in another fight and really see what could happen when we get into those deep rounds and they've actually both been aggressive. I want to see where that could lead to. So hopefully we get to his second fight. But congratulations to Tank Davis for continuing to defend his crown and continue to show that he is one of the most pound for pound exciting fighters in the world, period. I don't care what sport, what combat sport you're talking, he is a must watch. Like Mase, at this point, there's very few boxers and fighters that I would call a must watch. Am I wrong for saying Tank Davis is a must watch at this point?
Oh yeah, definitely for sure, because his style is exciting. He's not gonna overly use the jab. He'll test it. He will test where you are with the jab, but he's not there to point you out. You don't earn the name Tank by pointing, by you know what I'm saying? Like you are there to put punishment on the other human being in the ring with you, and you love to see it. I'm here for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we got to keep things moving along here, because that was an excellent fight, but we have more things on the docket because it is a spicy time of the year here. But while we're talking about spicy, each and every week, sometimes you have some things that get deep and under your skin that drive you a little bit crazy. There may be some wild stuff that's going on out there in the world. Well, we're here to take a trip into the mind of a madman who sees all of those things. Ladies and gentlemen, the lights went red. This is Mace's Madness.
So I want to say about a week and a half ago or so, the Texas Committee of Affairs decided to suggest that armed civilians would start checking people for legal papers. Like take a second. We've heard the story before. Freedom papers, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, I know they're trying to take history away from us, but you know, that was a thing. And they're trying to make it a thing again. It's disgusting. But why are we trying to make it legal to be racist again, people? I think the direct quote from one of the gentlemen on the committee was something on the lines of, I'm not going to direct quote him, something on the lines of, armed civilians with the ability to ask someone if they are legally in the country if they don't look like they're from the country. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what the committee suggested, that if you a little too brown, a little too black, you got to show them freedom papers, baby. Now me, I'm flipping the script on them. I'm gonna let you know right now. We're gonna get the gang together. We're gonna go down to the river, and the first person, the conversation ain't even gotta be happening with me. I'm just be ear hustling out there. The first person I hear, oh my God, I'm almost as dark as you. Show me your freedom papers. You don't look like you're from here. What's up? Show them to me. You ain't got them? Oh, you want to be dark like us, but you ain't got your papers? Yeah. I'm flipping the script on you. Try to do this. I dare you. I double dog dare you to try something like this. I promise you, I'm sitting outside of every tanning salon I can find. Show me your papers. You don't look like you're from here. Ain't no way.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yo, like this is wild.
This is one of the wildest things that I think I've heard. I mean,
armed militias of civilians not trained, not can just.
Here's my biggest worry is in a society where we have police, why are we feeling the need to have armed militias?
Yeah, armed militias that can just walk up to somebody who they think shouldn't be in the country. Let me see your papers. What? That sounds a lot like racism to me.
It is. It is. I mean, it is legalized racism. It is.
Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I promise you, the next time I hear I'm almost as dark as you. Oh yeah, hey, take this walk with me. Yeah. We got to go. You got your papers on you? You don't? Oh, you don't have your papers on you? Yeah. Come on, take this walk. We got to go, player.
Facts. Hey, look, they want to put the law in place. Might as well use it on them.
You dang right. Like I said, I'm going down to the river where y'all like to be, and let me just so much as hear some. I'm dark. I'm getting dark. I've been tanning. Let me see your papers. I need them. If you don't turn red from sunburns, if you get dark, I need to see your papers. I don't know if you're really from here. You try me, bro.
That's a catch your hands moment. That's what that is.
No, they gonna catch them handcuffs because they ain't supposed to be here. What you mean?
Mase gonna have the most citizens arrest ever.
Man, I've been on. What? Try it. I dare you.
Hey, it's gonna be a lot of really angry people because when that law gets flipped back on them, they're gonna be like, "This isn't meant for me." Well, who's it meant for then?
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Because if it's not equally applied to everyone, is that not racism?
Your name don't sound like you from here, player. Where your papers at? Your name is Worcestershire? Oh yeah, you ain't from here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let me see your papers.
Face is killing me.
Because he's just like, no. He's like, oh no, I can't believe this is real.
Yeah.
But hey, this is America.
Yeah, you got to flip it back on them. You want to do that? I need to see some papers.
Well, find me a rock. I'm gonna find me a rock to lay under. That's what I'm gonna do.
That rock better not be too dark, because I'm gonna need to see some papers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where we are.
I'm telling you right now, the name of this episode is Freedom Papers. 100%. I'm just telling you now.
I'm carrying a bunch of reverse Uno cards in my pocket when I hear that.
Hey, that's what Mase is saying. Mase about to hit you with them. Hey, where your Freedom Papers at? Where you at?
Oh, you want to play like you dark? Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Take this walk with me, player. We ain't doing that today. I need to make sure you from here. I gotta protect my land. I gotta make sure you from here, player. You might be one of them sleeper agents ready to do something terrible. I gotta find out.
You might be from Russia.
Yeah. What's your last name? Are you from Russia? Are you Russian? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, where your Freedom Papers?
Your eyes a little too blue. Where you from?
Yo, you're stupid. You're stupid. But each and every week, ladies and gentlemen, we take the trip into the mind of a madman. He drops some knowledge on you each and every week. He points out some crazy things to you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mase's Madness. And we got to keep the train moving here, most definitely. And we have to get into the reason Mase's lights are purple today. For those that are watching us on YouTube, we thank you again. Make sure you like, subscribe us, and share us. But Mase, how are you feeling about the Lake Show right now, considering after all that cash money Dylan Brooks was talking, all that, yep, I'm not afraid of blah, 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 all of that, right? Then my man came out on 17 shots, had 13 points. Thoughts?
Actually, Dylan Brooks had 7 points on 3 for 13 shooting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gave him too much credit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you did. Yeah, you did.
I must have saw somebody else's stat line. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 3 for 13, 7 points, 1 for 5 from the 3. That's the guy out there fat lipping, talking about LeBron this, LeBron that. He old. Hey, your game is old and busted, player. Get it together, because you're gonna get ran out of the gym 3 for 13.
Daryl, how are you feeling that one of your troll brethren came out here and ended up looking like a clown? I mean, he's of your troll ilk. You know what I'm saying? He's your kind of guy, bro.
He's cut from the same cloth.
How you feeling about this, Daryl?
I don't feel a damn thing. I don't know. Neither one of them are my team. And
well, if we want to talk about your team, Mr. The Warriors, hey, what's going on with Steph and them? And while we're here, we got to talk about what's up with your man's Draymond, dog. What's up with your man's, bro? What's up with your man's?
he's a self-definition of himself. That's all I can say.
Huh?
He's a self-definition of himself.
The hell that mean?
Draymond's Draymond. What's the surprise about anything about him? What's the surprise? Come on now. How many years we have to keep on going with it? There's always something.
I mean, this is the same man that kicked somebody in their family jewels in the NBA Finals. So I guess we can't be surprised by nothing.
Bro, Draymond has the most. This is the most Draymond thing that can happen. You start the season punching your teammate, and you end the season stomping out your opponent. If that ain't, bro, if that's not Draymond, listen, bro. If that's not the most Draymond Green thing Draymond Green can do,
you got a better stump than Steph Rollins.
Yeah, but this is the most Draymond thing that can happen, bro.
I mean, legitimately, like, why? Look, I will say it out front. Sabonis shouldn't have grabbed that man's leg. He shouldn't have. Like, that was unnecessary. He shouldn't have done that. But also, that doesn't mean that Draymond, who could have clearly just pulled his foot away and stood on one leg and out here trying to sell us these wolf tickets, talking about my balance ain't that great, all after the game, right? After the game, he was selling these wolf tickets. Draymond, you could have pulled your foot out of there and just walked away. But you decided you was in a Bruce Lee movie and you want to sit here and finish him. Wow. Like, nah, Draymond, nah.
Like
that.
At this point, teams are just sending somebody out to get under Draymond Green's skin just to get him suspended for a game or two.
At this point, he's a liability to that team.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, he is. Because his offensive value is no longer a net positive. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, before, even with his, like, bad shooting nights and stuff, the fact that he would get all these assists, get you a lot of second chance opportunities and stuff.
Draymond, right? He used to lead the fast breaks a lot of the time for that team, and now it's where is his offensive value?
Not now, if we're being honest, he's a glorified screen setter.
Mm-hmm.
If we're being honest. So, Darryl, I have to ask you, you've seen how this series has played out so far. Do you feel like the Warriors are still going to get out of this series?
I'm not sure.
Whoa. Mase, we haven't heard Daryl's faith wane in the Warriors in 2 years. So why is it waning right now?
I don't know.
How much longer can Steph just put the team on his back? That's really what it comes down to. Like Steph has to go crazy.
They're only getting older. That's all I'm gonna say. Every year by year, everybody's getting older. So all that working out, all that cardio, Draymond out here being lazy, stomping on people, punching people. He just wants to be a fighter. He wants to be in the MMA. So I don't know. It's like the same thing with the Sixers, People have faith in them.
Hey, hold on. The Sixers, you can't talk about the Sixers right now. I know you hate them, but them boys came out and handled their business. They gave them boys not a gentleman's sweep. They gave them an old school sweep. They said, sweep your ass right out the playoffs, baby. Get on out of here.
Hey, is there any injuries?
Who? Oh, well, of course. Of course, dog. Come on, baby. We know what it is with the Sixers. They going as Embiid goes. If he ain't ready for that next round, they in trouble. It's that simple. Because we know what a James Harden-led playoff team is. We've seen this.
People got faith in James Harden.
Ain't no Chris Paul on that team right now to come bail him out. So we know what this is. Look, no Embiid, they home in 4 games next round. It's that simple. But you just tried to deflect. I like the way you did that. But you're gonna answer this question. Why have you lost faith in the Warriors? He want to sit here and try and hit us with that. I don't know. Why did you lose faith? What happened, Daryl? You was telling us we foolish for counting on anybody. Like I literally picked the Kings before this whole series started. I picked them to knock the Warriors out. Both of y'all was looking at me kind of crazy. Okay. Especially you, Daryl. You was, you think they can knock out the Warriors? Now what's up?
You know what? I could say I don't know, but at the same time, I'm going to say that the Warriors are going to get out of the series alive. That's all I'm going to say.
Now he want to fake some belief in him. You see this? You see how he tried to fake that belief? He didn't even believe it when he said it.
Hey, you believe in Westbrook. How about that?
So, okay, now, well,
why he catching strays? He ain't do nothing. Westbrook ain't got nothing to do with this.
He got the team on his back right now because Kawhi he ain't got no knees. So
why you play basketball?
Hey, you see how much he get paid? What you talking about? Those are guaranteed dollars, fella. Okay.
Hey, if he got guaranteed dollars, he can add some AI to his knees. It might work.
Listen, man. Kawhi's stealing money. I'll just put it to you like that.
Hey, he can get
You're wrong.
He can fix
like,
it.
don't get me wrong. He's great when he's out there, but
he can fix
hey, Mate, you know what he need to do? He need to go over there and take that Kobe and Dwayne Wade trip over to Europe.
Oh yeah. He need to take that trip to Germany and get them platelet infusions.
Yeah, get that knee figured out. You need something.
Because that's crazy, man. Like, imagine if Kawhi plays in even half of the games that he's missed over this however many years since the Toronto championship. It's wild. They were talking about it the leading up to the playoffs, and in the first 3 games in the playoffs, I think they were saying something like Kawhi was playing like 35, 38 minutes a game, and everybody's like, oh my God, why is Kawhi playing so much? Like, he has to. But we know that he can't. We know that it's just a matter of time before he gets hurt. So,
well, okay. So, since the Toronto series, this is the amount of games he's played each year. So, we're starting at 2019.
yeah.
57, 52, didn't play because of his ACL, and then 52 this year. So, Kawhi has no knees. is what those numbers say to me. He has no need, and there's no amount of anything that you can do to keep that healthy. The only way that Clippers thing ever was going to work was if Paul George stayed healthy, because Paul George would allow Kawhi to take a night off when he needs it and then be able to come back the next night. But without that, like you said, Westbrook out there by himself right now at this point, because the rest of them dudes is who that is and still in the leagues. So I don't see the Clippers being able to come back at all there. I think they're just in a bad situation because your best player is hurt.
The two best players is out. I mean, they went into the series with no Paul George. So it was they got to win in hopes to get Paul George back. But
Yep. But we got to move on to another series though, because Mase, I have to ask, are you surprised with how this Cavaliers and Knicks series has went so far?
No, I thought this was going to be a battle all along.
And how live was the Garden for Game 3? Ooh. That was wild.
Listen, man, basketball is a lot better when the Knicks are good, because there are very few atmospheres that can give you the chills just from watching a game, or if you're lucky enough to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, when the Knicks are good, basketball is good, because it's one of those places where you're selling out every time if your team is good. So this is one of the better series for me. This could possibly be the only 7-game series in the first round. I could definitely see that. I definitely don't think it's over for either team by any means. What the Cavaliers have been able to do in the wake of trading everything away and building through the draft, you got to commend them for that. Not a lot of teams do that these days, so hey, I'm looking forward to those games always.
It's been a very interesting series to this point, but I do think the Knicks are going to probably win this series. And it's strictly because the Cavaliers are starting to figure out, we don't have anyone consistently night to night that can get us buckets besides Donovan Mitchell. We have some guys that one night they're going to be good and then the next night they're going to be kind of bad, but we don't got anybody that's going to consistently be able to go get us a bucket besides Donovan Mitchell, and that's a lot of pressure.
I think that's a part of the growing pains of a team that's never been in this situation before.
Absolutely.
But one game for a young team can shoot that confidence through the roof and change the entire perspective.
True. But I think their problem is going to be night to night. They're going to end up not being able to perform night to night, and that's going to lead to them going home, I think, within 6 games, if I'm being honest with you. So the other interesting series, though, we have to most definitely talk more about is Mase. Things have kind of changed since, Giannis got hurt in that series. What is Milwaukee going to do? Because at this point, Mase, if we know this about Giannis, if he missed some games, I mean, he had to leave the one and then he missed the next one, right? If that happened, we know he's hurt. So what the hell is Milwaukee going to do at this point?
I don't think they have the firepower to be without Giannis for a series. We know Miami, they're a veteran-laden team. Jimmy Butler I feel like he still don't get his respect. We know that he can will that team to a playoff victory. Without Giannis, man, it's dark times in Milwaukee if Giannis isn't there. It's just I'm gonna be real with you, because Middleton's a glorified number 2. They've been able to get over with great defense and hustle and having the best player in the league. Just put him on a team that plays excellent defense with another shot creator, and that's kind of how they've made it. But without him there, it's tough sledding for sure. I don't know how they get past this Miami series if Giannis can't go. Just be real with you.
Yeah, this series, I think this is going to sound crazy, but I think Milwaukee can afford to sit Giannis for one more game. Because Miami is actually not great, right? Like we know they're not a great team, and if Giannis is out there, Milwaukee will end up winning the games. But that also then potentially puts you in a very bad situation where you might be down 3-1 and asking Giannis to come back and backpack the team, not even being full, like healthy. Because I'm not going to say fully healthy because nobody is at this point in the year, right? But I'm saying healthy to the point of being able to be playoff Giannis right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they do. I'd be honest with you. If Giannis is not healthy, I'm not playing him. Like if he's not at that level of health that we expect, this season can go bye-bye. Because guess what? We need to figure out a way to get Drew Holiday out of here and get somebody younger and better that can put up more buckets consistently for us. Drew Holiday is great with the defense for sure. I love what he's actually done for the community and stuff as just on a personal level stuff that he's done outside of basketball. Love the guy. Root for nothing but good for him. But at this point, he's leaning more towards the wash category than he is looking like a quality player for you because he can't do it night to night. He's too old. So you got to replace him. Like you said, Middleton is a glorified number 2. You have to find somebody else. Even if they're a Jalen Brunson level player, right, that you bring him in and he can at least get you some buckets and bring you some explosion night to night, but there's always going to at least be this level of consistency on offense with him, right? He can get up here, but he's always at least going to be here for you. They need somebody like that because putting it all on Giannis is why they're in this situation and where they're down in this series, and to where I do not truthfully know if they have any chance of winning this game today. Because Miami plays good at home. Yeah. So how you gonna win? How you gonna win this game?
Well, I said, man, Jimmy Butler's the ultimate gamer in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're telling me Jimmy Butler has an opportunity to send the team home, I feel pretty confident that he can do it.
Yeah, I do not disagree with you. And you know, one thing we know about Jimmy is he loves playing the underdog card. Like that whole Miami organization, they love being the underdogs. That's what they're all like. They love that, just that mentality. It's us against the world. And look, one thing I will say is, if Miami wins this series, Jimmy Butler is going to be insufferable for like the next year. He is going to be insufferable. Oh my God, it is going to be he is going to be out there trolling all the time. So we'll see what happens there. I hope that series ends up playing out a little bit longer, but I'll be honest, we got to kind of wait and see because I know Giannis is out today, so we got to see what happens then for Game 5. But we're not even going to waste time in talking about them frauds known as the Minnesota Timberwolves because we already know what it is with them. Hey, Mase, what did they? Hey, what's they huddle today? 1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Let's ride.
That is their mojo today for sure. So they'll be sitting home watching the playoffs with the rest of us. But not gonna waste time talking about the Celtics and Hawks either, Mase, because we both know, the Hawks were bound to win one game. It's about to be a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, they got their complimentary one.
Yeah, they got that one Trae Young game in the playoffs where all of a sudden you're like, well, maybe he could be, but then all of a sudden you remember the rest of the series that he's been butt. So we're not gonna waste time there. We're gonna get moving here and get back to Mace's mock draft. So Mase, we did leave off at pick 10. And you know what? Mase has been, he's been doing pretty damn good with this mock draft. I know he's made it nice and spicy for some of you people. So Mase, why don't you pick up at who do you have going number 11?
11 here. Titans, they need some firepower. I went Quentin Johnson. I don't know why he's slipping. I think this is just some teams trying to just throw out some stuff to like hopefully he's there for them in like those upper teens, like 17, 18. But if we're being honest here, you can talk about his 40 time being a lot slower. You can talk about him. You're worried about him catching the ball away from his body. Bull crap. I saw a dude that in the open field, nobody caught him. I saw a dude who can go get you the 50-50 ball. I don't know what people are talking about. Titans, they can't lean on Derrick Henry forever. They have to be able to put the ball in the air, especially not really having anything in place after A.J. Brown was traded. But yeah, man, I think they go Quentin Johnson here. They have to infuse that wide receiver room with a deep threat, with some speed, and you can throw that 40 time out the window. I don't care. I ain't see nobody catch Quentin Johnson in open field ever.
He ain't lying. Okay, I do like the pick there. That is a very solid pick there. I went actually a different direction here. I said the Titans are actually going to select Darnell Wright. The reason why I went with Darnell Wright is because I think Vrabel wants to take the approach of let's build this the same way that Philly did, which is build up some big space eaters up front, and then we can figure everything else out as we're going, right? But let's get the best offensive linemen that we can. And I think at that point, you could reasonably argue that if the Bears, in my mock, I had the Bears taking Paris Johnson. If they take Darnell Wright, then I have the Titans would end up taking Paris Johnson in that situation. I believe.
Yeah,
there's my full belief. I don't think Vrabel wants to get caught in the situation trying to mess around with skill guys right now when they are honestly very unsure of their quarterback and Malik Willis. And you know us, Mace. We big up the black quarterbacks right here. But what I saw from him last year was utterly disappointing. He looked absolutely lost. Just completely lost. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe he has a good offseason, right? He comes back. He looks like a better player. We'll see. But I think they're taking the approach of building meat and potatoes before we go out here trying to get other guys. You know what I mean? Get skilled guys with a quarterback that we don't even know if he can get the ball to him.
Yeah.
But all right, Mace, who do you got going number 12 to the Houston Texans?
Here is where I have Anthony Richardson. I honestly believe he's not going in the top 10. I think if he's there for Houston at number 12, I think they have to take a shot at him as a quarterback because ultimately Davis Mills is not the answer at the quarterback position for them. He's been better than we've all expected him to be, but I see this being like a run to the podium moment for Houston if he's there at 12.
Here's where I have the issue. I just don't think that he'll be there at 12. I think that was wishful thinking on your part. I think you forgot how much people lose their minds for quarterbacks in a draft. So I think that was a little wishful thinking that he'll slide that far. But I do actually like where your head is at as far as them trying to go on the offensive side of the ball. But for me, here's where things get a little spicy in my draft, Mace. I have got the Houston Texans taking Bijan Robinson and trading Dameon Pierce on up out of there. And the reason why I have this happening is because, for goodness sake, he played at Texas. And he might actually be the best player in the draft, but he's a running back. And it's not like, somebody will trade for Dameon Pierce. He looked good for you guys, so somebody will trade for him. Like, just hey, take that 3rd round pick that you'll get for him and keep it moving, baby. And now you got a true playmaker. So right here, Mase, is where Bijan Robinson actually went for me.
Okay. And yeah, to your point, I personally believe Bijan Robinson is the best player in the draft. It just sucks that he's coming into the draft 10 years too late.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. 10 years ago, Bijan's going in the top 3. Easy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, but moving forward here, Mase, to the New York Jets at number 13. And we're going to stay with it being the Jets because it looks like they have pretty much told the Packers, you can kiss our cheeks. We're not giving you this year's picks for Aaron Rodgers. No. We'll give you next year, the year after. We're not giving you this year. We're not playing that game. So, Mase, who do you got the New York Jets picking at number 13?
I have them going Paris Johnson right here. They need another tackle opposite Mekhi Becton. And like you said, we don't know what their quarterback situation is going to be. We know they have a playmaker in Garrett Wilson. I think they go with another tackle here, like because if they're stuck with at their quarterback position as is, the best thing you can do for him is keep him on his feet.
So here is where I went a different player than you again here. I personally believe that Robert Saleh is looking at his roster and he's saying, what would give me the most bang for my buck here? I understand what you're saying with the tackle, but I think that offensive line is already good enough. I don't think they need to use more capital there. Saying that Becton is going to come back healthy, right? Obviously, we're assuming he's going to be back healthy. So he's going to say to himself, what can I do here? I think this is where Joey Porter Jr. ends up getting drafted. And I'm going to say why? Because they're going to look at that defense and say, we got guys up front. We got guys that are decent enough at linebacker. If we have 2 corners that can come out here and shut it down and make it hard, it's going to make everybody up front's job a little bit easier. So I think this is where Joey Porter Jr. is going. I think a lot of people will be very disappointed because he was a couple of picks away from going to the Steelers in my draft, but I just think the Jets cannot pass up on another corner of this quality to pair with Sauce Gardner. So, Mase, at number 14, who do you got the New England Patriots selecting?
I have been going Lucas Van Ness, defensive end out of Iowa. I don't really think this pick will pan out, but we know Belichick can't really draft in the first round. So this is kind of like the perfect, like he'll be a solid player for them, but I don't think he will be the splash player that they need. But hey, like I said, Belichick's he's not the greatest drafter. Like, let's be real here. I think this is like right up their alley for the type of player that Belichick likes. But I don't see him being great. But he'll be good for him.
I'll be honest with you. This was probably the hardest pick for me to figure out. And eventually I just was like, well, who do I think is the best guy left on my board? Oh, okay. I think the Patriots are going to take Devin Witherspoon at the time. So, because I just don't. Bill Belichick, like you said, he stinks with his first rounder. So who knows what he's going to do? Like, you may be right. They may even trade this pick away. Who knows? Dog? Like, yeah. I really don't know. That one's a crapshoot to me. But moving forward here, the Green Bay Packers picking at 15. Who do you got them taking, Mase?
I have Dalton Kincaid. I think he's truly the best tight end in this draft. I think he has the highest ceiling. He's a deep threat at the tight end spot, and like we said before, I said this going into it all along. What's the best friend for a young quarterback is having a tight end that can get open, and Kincaid can get open. I mean, you look at it, you just turn on his USC tape. 16 targets, 16 catches, like 160 something yards. He toasted them boys.
Yeah, this pick, I 100% agree with you. This was where I had Kincaid going into. It's amazing that he'll probably fall to this spot because he may actually be a better player than some of the guys that we have on the board ahead of him, just based off of where these teams are probably going to pick him. So I'm going to agree with you there. Washington Commanders coming in at pick 16. Mase, who you got them taking?
I have Jackson Smith. I'm about to
say
tear
it.
His.
Say it. Don't be out there trying to.
Najigba? I mean, oh man, I want to be able to say his name right, but at the same time, Njabe,
bruh. Look at how it's spelled. It's Njabe. It's Njabe.
Hey, bro.
Whatever. In the phonetics of how that's spelled, the I is going to be like silent there that you're seeing. So it's Njabe. You know what I mean?
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Anyways, I have him going here just because I feel like they want to load the clip per se for Sam Howell, because I mean they've, for whatever reason, decided that Lamar Jackson's not the quarterback for them. So give your guy some weapons. Give Eric Bieniemy another target, because I mean, Scary Terry's there. Jahan Dotson, I think he'll have a better season 2, and just give him another weapon. Why not?
So I went the other way on this. I feel like they're going to have confidence that their offense can be better because they already have people on that side of the ball that are, at least decent, right? So here's where, and I'm going to let you know now, for me, here's where a run on corner starts. I have them taking Emmanuel Forbes here, and that's where it kicks, in my mind, a run on some DBs here. So Washington starts this off taking Emmanuel Forbes. So Mase, who do you got going 17 to Pittsburgh Steelers?
Mr. Joey Porter Jr. I think it's clear that the Steelers have to go with their secondary, and I think he will be there at 17 for them. And that's going to be our feel-good first-round draft pick, man. I think he's going to be there for him.
Okay. Yeah, for me, again, I think they go another corner. This is where I had Deonte Banks going. I think he ends up being the corner for them, and they keep it moving because, like you said, they have to go secondary. This secondary is terrible. So I think that's where they end up going. All right, Mase, at 18, who do you got? The Detroit Lions, the fighting football team in Detroit. Mase, our squad up there.
I have them sticking with
Campbell
the here. I have them going Ryan Bresee, defensive tackle from Clemson. It's very clear that they have to get Hutchinson some clear help on that defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
So why not load up right there?
Yep, I agree. This is where I had Mr. Brees going because we have the same mentality, which is, hey, you got to give Aiden Hutchinson some help on the inside because you already got a guy on the outside that can potentially make things happen for you too. He came on very late in the year for them. So moving forward here to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Mase, who do you got the Bucks taking?
Have them taking Darnell Wright. Like I said, this is another situation where a team is bringing in a young quarterback. The best way to help him is to keep him on his feet. I think he goes. If he's there for them, I think it's a no-brainer.
And then for me, honestly, this was like I'm gonna just have some fun because I don't know where they're going either. Right? I was like, whatever, bro. I don't know what they're doing. So I'm taking Brian Branch here. I think that's going to be the best player for them. I think they're looking at that secondary and saying some of these dudes is getting old and some of y'all dudes can't stay healthy. So we need to figure out something here. And I think that's where they go as far as the way that their secondary is currently laid out. Now, Mase, the last pick will be going over here. And if you guys want the rest of Mase's mock draft, you are going to have to tune in to us on our live stream of round 1 of the NFL draft. We will be doing that Thursday. The draft starts at, I believe, 7 o'clock Central. We will be going live at 6:30 Central. So that being said, Mase, who is the last pick that you are giving them today going to the Seattle Seahawks at number 20?
I have Will McDonald the fourth. Again, another team that they can benefit from just adding to their defensive line. That's their. To me, that is Seattle's biggest weakness was their front seven, in particular their front four, or whatever defense they decide to deploy. Get them another pass rush. I just don't. Will McDonald is a very solid player. I think he would benefit from them having better players around. So, like I said, I just feel like stick with the defensive line and get you a pass rush out there.
Well, I like where your head's at, but I went with a different pass rusher. I believe this is where Nolan Smith goes. I believe this is where they said, well, wait a minute. He fell all the way here with all that athleticism. Might as well give him a try. And I think this is where Seattle goes and gets their pass rusher because, you know, we both have them going a little bit different than the earlier pick in the draft there. So we will see what happens. But, yes, Mase, tell the people where to find you.
You know, man, find me at Twitter, funky_stuff09. Or hit me up on Twitch, twitch.tv/swaggymace. You know, I'm always around doing something cool. Hit me up.
Mr. Low Elo, tell the people where to find you.
Twitch, Low Elo Janitor. YouTube, Low Elo Janitor. Woo-woo. Yeah. You see, you thought I forgot.
At J-Span, the man everywhere. You to see my pretty face with the ITC logo. Just remember to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share, hit the notification bell. So every time we drop new content that you are made aware of it. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you again coming through for another resounding episode of your favorite weekly sports show. And that is ITC
Sportsball.